You may have seen the news on Fightful Select. He just signed a contract with MLW. He's part of the Horseman stable in MLW, the Rogue Horsemen. He is 1/4 of the Rogue Horsemen. He is BRG. BRG, thank you for joining us. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Normally I'd be a little better dressed, but you caught me right when I was getting out of the gym. So you get the gym wear today.
Oh, it's completely fine. We're a wrestling podcast. We're not here to impress with how we look all the time. But you are a well-dressed man when you are on screen.
Exactly. I'm known for being very well dressed, so I try to just at least put that out there immediately that this is not common when I do interviews.
Well, talk to us about signing with MLW. Again, the news came down last night. You signed the contract with the promotion. What went into this decision?
I mean, at the end of the day, I have to think about what's best for my career. And when I look at a company like MLW, they seem to be one of the only companies that love to take a chance on brand new stars, on people that are on the independent scene, but not necessarily making all the big waves and everything. They look for real talent in each individual that they hire. And I have felt that with everybody that I've worked with backstage, it's just been such a welcoming environment since I've been there. It was a no-brainer at this point.
Now, being part of the Rogue Horsemen with Brock Anderson, CW Anderson, and my guy Bob Fish, big Bob Fish fan. When did you find out about this group, and what did you make when this group was pitched to you?
So I found out about this back in August, I believe, in the summer, and that was probably the most excited that I've ever been to start in wrestling. The fact that I get to be with three people that have so much lineage to their names. You have CW, who was in ECW for the longest time. You have Brock, whose father is one of the founding members of the Four Horsemen. And then you have Bobby Fish, which is a guy that I literally would watch and study when I was coming up in the wrestling industry. So to see all that and to have that lineage partnered with me, it's a pretty cool feeling, especially when MLW is like my first step towards success, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Talk to me about like reviving the name of the Horsemen, because that is like a big deal in wrestling. Of course, they have like a long lineage. Like, how would it feel like to come into something with such a well-known pedigree?
Well, so for a lot of people that know me, they know that I got into wrestling fairly late, 2011, when I was 13. And when I started to pursue wrestling as a career, I knew that I was going to have to be a student of the game. So a lot of times I'll go back and watch a lot of older wrestling, and a lot of the people that I watched were like the Ric Flairs, Yarn Andersons, Ole Anderson, Tully Blanchard, those guys. So I was a fan of the Four Horsemen, but later on in life. So to be able to carry on that lineage, it's an honor, and I don't take it with a grain of salt. It's something that I have to remember each and every single day. I can't fail. I need to make sure that I put my all into this because I know there's a lineage and a name attached to me now.
Do they get hair tips from you? I mean, two of them are bald. Brock looks like, no offense to Brock, he looks like he's 40, 50, and he's actually only in his 20s. Do they come to you for the hair tips or the dressing advice? Because Bob Fish, he's a gritty guy. You don't see Bobby Fish in like suits and everything.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that they get hair tips from me. At the end of the day, like you said it, they're three gritty, rugged guys, and not for nothing, I'm pretty tough myself. So those are the type of people that I want surrounding me, especially in an environment like MLW where chaos is reigning on a consistent basis. You want to make sure that you have the right people backing you up.
Court Bauer has, I don't know if you saw this, but Court Bauer has said he sees similarities between you and Steve Corino. When you hear something like that, what are you thinking?
It's an honor. The fact that CW is also is friends with Steve Corino as well, and he's told me that as well. I love the fact that I can have comparisons to one of the greats in wrestling. I never thought in my wildest dreams that like people would be making those comparisons to me. So these are things that I don't try to take for granted. There's a lot of people that see a lot in me, and when I see something like that, I know that I have to make sure that I am perfect and make sure that I am at the best and at my best game at this point. Because if people are seeing this in me, then I have to make sure that I don't prove them wrong. I have to make sure that these people see that I am as incredible as these comparisons that are being made about me.
Yeah, MLW is such an interesting choice. It's like a large landscape of wrestling at the moment. What do you think makes MLW currently stand out compared to any other company?
I mean, the fact that they are the company that touts that they have consistent changes in the roster on a consistent basis, but also it's the fact that they have hybrid wrestling. So you can go to an MLW show and you can always have a piece of the pie that you enjoy. You have strong style, you have lucha libre, you have old school wrestling like myself, and on top of it you have guys like Timothy Thatcher who are more grappling based, and Davey Boy Smith Jr. You have Mystico, who's a high flyer. It's just no matter what your interest is in wrestling, no matter what style you prefer, you're going to get it at an MLW show. And then on top of that, you're going to get some of the best wrestlers from each genre of wrestling also there and giving you the best that they can give.
Okay, the name Brett Ryan Gosling, I'm going to assume comes from Ryan Gosling a little bit.
So that's my real name.
Oh, okay.
It's my actual name. And everybody says it. So that's why I have it tattooed on me. It's not like it's not a vain thing. It's my legitimate name. My dad was Brian Richard Gosling, so he wanted me to not be a junior, but he wanted me to have like some sort of connection to him. So he wanted me to have the same initials. So when I was born, I come from a huge hockey family. So my dad named me after Brett Hull. And
Okay.
then Ryan sounded similar to his name, so it just kind of stuck. It was Brett Ryan Gosling, and I just happened to have a very similar name to a celebrity.
I mean, fairly similar look too. The blonde hair, especially with Barbie coming out the other year. Like I imagine you got that comparison the time.
It was never planned. It was just one of those things. It was just a big circumstance. Like it was just a coincidence. I got my hair dyed back in March, and the next thing you know, I see the Barbie movie, and then everybody's telling me, "Hey, like you're gonna do that for Halloween, right?" I was like, "Yeah." Sure. So I dressed up as Ken on Halloween, and then MLW saw the look, and they were like, "You need to keep this. This is money. This is exactly what you need in order to propel forward." And that's the thing I love about MLW is that they see something that can draw money, and they immediately just go all in on it.
Did you learn the Ken song?
I came out to the Ken song on Halloween. Honestly, the Ken song is in my playlist on a consistent basis. I don't care what anybody says.
It's a banger,
awesome.
right?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It really is.
I have kids. They want to watch the Barbie movie all the time, and every time the Ken song comes on, they're like, "Come on, come watch it. Come watch the Ken song." So yes, it's a great song. All right, I'm gonna go off a little track here, because you mentioned hockey and you mentioned being named after Brett Hull. So what was your team growing up?
I am a diehard Montreal Canadiens fan, and I live in New England, so that's pretty tough. Yeah, I grew up going to Boston Bruins versus Montreal Canadiens games a lot. So like at 13 years old, I was a pretty consistent trash talker, especially when it came to Bruins fans, because I'd go to school and everybody was a Bruins fan. So I would just and everybody on my hockey team was a Bruins fan. So I was always a trash talker, even back in the day, even when I was a kid, and my dad was kind of impressed by it.
I'm an Avs fan, actually. There we
Okay.
go. Colorado Avalanche shirts. So, there's some ties there. We got Patrick Waugh in the trade, or Terry Lehkonen.
yeah.
Every time the Avs and Canadians make a trade, it seems to work out well for the
Yeah.
Avs. We seem to win the cup that year, so maybe we can pull that off again.
Hey,
this
knowing
year.
that Montreal's in the rebuild right now, I could see it being, I could see them trading with the Avs again at some point.
We need a goaltender.
You're looking in the wrong direction.
Yeah. I feel like one of us might be able to play goalie for the Avs with the way their goaltending is going right now.
I could definitely be a good backup. Not the biggest fan of Primo. Sam Montembeault has some potential, but we got to revamp that whole team in general.
You're a starter on the Avs when it comes to goaltending. I saw they got Laine back last night. I've always been a believer in Patrick Laine, so I hope it works out for him in Montreal.
I do too. I was pretty sad to hear that he got hurt in the preseason. I was like, God damn it.
We got MLW One Shot coming up tomorrow night. This is Eric Bischoff booking this show. He doesn't have a great history with the Horsemen. Like, that's kind of a little muddy there. Have you talked with Eric? Have you worked something out with him here?
So Eric and I have had a couple conversations. When I look at Eric Bischoff, it's funny. I don't remember anything that he really did in WCW because I was only 3 years old when WCW sadly got bought out by WWE. So,
oh my God.
But he's still one of my favorite wrestling personalities in general. I think that what he's done for the wrestling business has revolutionized a lot of things that we look at in our industry, especially in relation to realism and stuff like that. So when you bring it to a company like MLW who thrives on realism, I think he's a perfect fit for it. So now the fact is you bring up the Horsemen. I know that in our conversations that things could sway either way. I still need to have a couple more conversations with Eric in order to make sure that things work out for the Horsemen this Thursday.
You got a couple things going against you. One, Horseman. Two, blonde hair. Again, history with Eric Bischoff, blonde hair Horseman, not
blah,
good.
Blah, blah. At the end of the day, I think.
Oh, I think that's Brett's internet, not ours. Usually it's mine, and I'm always concerned.
Usually it's mine.
Yeah, usually it is. Everyone knows that, but I think this is actually BRG's at the. I don't know if he's still at the gym or the gym location. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, it is still a little choppy there. We just have a frozen screen.
Still here? I'm getting very iffy right now.
Yeah, we can actually hear you a little bit right now, but the audio now, or the video, I meant to say. Now the video is completely gone. All right, we will see if Brett pops back on again. Bischoff is ruining his internet. That's all I'm going to blame this on.
Bischoff is sabotaging our interview.
Yeah. Bischoff is out here already making enemies with the Horsemen. It's a decade-long rivalry, Eric Bischoff and the Horsemen. We'll see if Brett can pop back on here. Oh, he's moving around.
Okay. Yeah, we got to move around sometimes, unfortunately.
We got audio. Yeah, we got audio. That's at least something. We'll see if we got to get to the infamous. Oh, there we go. All right,
there he is.
I think we're okay.
Perfect.
All right, we were talking about Bischoff and his history with horsemen with blonde hair. Not good.
Yeah. Well, so my thing is that Eric and I can relate on the fact that we're both compared to Ken dolls a lot. That's how I see it. So I think we can find some common ground in that aspect.
Brett, before we let you go here, the one thing we like to do here on ITW is a game. It's called Partner Promo Punch in the Face. I'm going to give you 3 names. You're going to pick one to partner with. You're going to pick one to promo with. You're going to pick one to punch in the face. I'm going to make this difficult on you. I'm going to give you your cohorts in the Rogue Horsemen. So Brock Anderson, CW Anderson, and Bob Fish.
Oof, damn, you're giving me a tough one. But so I need to preface this by saying that I love all three guys equally, and I have my reasoning for all of these. So I would say promo with CW Anderson. I would say, because I don't want to take him away from his real tag partner, so I would obviously go with Bobby Fish on the partnering with. And I have to punch Brock in the face, but the only reason that I would punch Brock in the face is because I know that he could take it and honestly punch me right back, no problem.
BRG, we appreciate you joining us here today. It's MLW One Shot. It airs tomorrow on YouTube. Oh, I ask this to everyone because MLW One Shot is an annual event. So I have to ask this. BRG, if you had one shot, one opportunity,
oh my God,
one moment to capture it, to seize it, would you let it slip?
I would not let it slip. I would never let it slip. I'm trying to remember the rest of the lyrics of that song, and of course they're blanking on me.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, mom's spaghetti, vomit on his sweater already.
Nah, there's no vomit on my sweater at all. Especially now with one shot, that's for sure.
BRG, thank you for joining us. Let everybody know where they can find you at.
So it's pretty easy. Victorious_BRG on all social media platforms. I'm pretty consistent with interactions and stuff like that. Promise you, if you try coming on and talking shit, though, that I will immediately make you regret it. So don't do that. My best piece of advice to you.
Thank you for joining us. Congratulations on the new deal with MLW. Good luck tomorrow, and congratulations again. Thanks, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You as well.